going on with him?
Told y'all about that boy Thibault.
He be getting rocked.
What they call the rubber chicken circuit. You know what they say when the boys be doing all good, and all of a sudden now they famous now.
We back. Busy day today. Pod number 2. Sixers beat OKC. What was the score? I was trying to pull up my stats. At least we 103. Yes, at least it's something to get happy about. 115 to 103. Embiid, Seth Curry actually led the way with 28. I think he had 23 in the first quarter. To end with 28 is kind of, I don't know. But Seth leads the way, 28. Joel had 22. Toby, Maxey had 14. Nang had 12. Huh?
What Toby had?
14. Toby had 14. This was a team I expected to win. There was a couple things I was looking for, though. Just to see how certain people played. Wanted to see how Toby played. Not Toby. I want to see how Maxey played with the point. Looking at the bench a little bit. I know he's going to get some more minutes from Isaiah Joe. Wanted to see how he played. Doc went with the all-bench lineup again, which didn't do bad. Niang, that his name? Yang, how you say it? Niang. He looked like a more out of shape Ben Simmons, but he did good. Every time I see him on the court, man, he looked like Ben Simmons to me. But he had a good game.
That's how Ben Simmons will look when he come back after 4 years.
4 games. He'd be out for like 4 games. Maybe.
Sir Wesley. Dune. I watched Dune too. You like Dune like that? I ain't like how it ended. I'll tell you that. But on to the Sixers game. And one more thing I noticed. I said this last game. I don't know if I said it last pod. What's going on with Matisse Thybulle's defense? Is it me or is he getting cooked a lot? I don't know. Is he going to have a letdown year? He look like he always behind. He always trying to chase up and down.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him.
That defense.
I agree. I don't know if it was the run over there in the Olympics or whatever, but I don't know. It seemed like he ain't got that step. Maybe he wore down. I mean, they had the short off season last year. He played the seasons kind of tight. Then he went right into the Olympics. He ain't built for them kind of minutes. It's a difference when you're a starter and you used to playing a lot of minutes like that. Thibault ain't used to playing them type of minutes. I think he wore down, honestly. So, I mean, I don't think that his defense just got worse. Like, I just think he's physically wore down. Maybe he needs to take a mental break. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he should have did that. It seems to be the Australian thing to do. But no, EEC, I agree. Listen, the Sixers looking like they got some snipers. There's a few of them up there getting up there in them 40% shoot, the 40% towel in shooting. Now, I was a little concerned today, not concerned, but it bothered me because I wanted to see what Korkmaz did against real defensive players. Like, you know, like it's like he came and he looked nice against guys that went. Dort was in his backside. Pause. But Dort was doing it when Dort started like getting active up on him. He had him dribbling the ball off his feet and everything else. So all that I was saying maybe Quirk could be the guy that down the street. No, Quirk can't be that dude.
Exactly.
He needed Max. He tried.
And that's what I told y'all the other day.
No, you didn't. Shut up.
And know what else we need? A backup point guard.
Day, and you know I did.
Yeah.
We need a backup point guard in the worst way, too. They actually seemed like they had to get Max in there early because they couldn't get the ball. They started trapping and pushing up on Cork when he was trying to run a point, and he really couldn't do nothing with it. And they had to get Maxey back in the game. We need a backup point guard. Or a starting point guard. Maxey can play backup, but we need to find a point guard.
What I think we need right now is the boy Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
You're not getting him.
You ain't getting him, man.
They just re-signed him to a 5-year deal.
That boy right now. He signed that contract in August, so he's not eligible to be traded until December.
He's not. What make you think they're going to trade him?
OKC has been trading with us for the last 2 years. Maybe
they ain't trading this. OKC can't get free agents for the most part. They
And
get
they
their
need
people
Ben.
three.
Ben is the biggest
They have a
draw.
star. They drafted a star. They're not just going to give their
That's
star up.
who we do. I bet you. Matter of fact, I'm almost sure Shea is going to be the boy that's going to be coming over. We got to wait till December 15th. If we get Shea, we're going to be okay.
You going to get Shea for who?
But Ben, same amount of money.
Man,
Listen, they got 3 possible number 1 draft picks. What can you give them to make them take Ben Simmons and give you Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the brightest young stars in the league coming up?
Because he don't got the star appeal like Ben. Ben is a superstar. He got that appeal.
Ben is not a superstar. Stop it.
This what I got. This what I can say to that. If they say, listen, they think they want to build around Ben, they have to draft picks to do it. I will say that.
Yep.
They have to draft picks to do it. Will
That's
they trade?
That's the move.
No, I don't think they trade.
You heard it first right here.
I do think that Ben can. I don't think Ben is trash or anything. I do think that he could be a part of a winning team, but he can't be the focal point of your team. He can't be the focal point of your team. He already showed you he can't handle the pressure.
What they're gonna do? They're gonna put a bunch of shooters around him. Let him play guard. That's the team. We're trading for Shea. We get Shea in here and run with. He can run with us. And
he got a bunch of shooters here. He ain't gonna get more shooters there. We got a bunch of shooters here. Where he at?
But is he not playing with Joel Embiid clogging the middle and everything and making it all uncomfortable because they can't be down low? I'm telling you, that's the move.
The way, listen, Ben might. The way it's going, Ben might have to come back. I mean, what is he gonna say? He can
light up. You see the twinkle that went in Tim's eye.
He can sit out. Listen, he can sit out another month and a half to the trade deadline, maybe, but I don't know how that's gonna help him. But I really don't want to see him with this team. But he might end up having to force himself back. But we'll see how it goes.
I was disappointed with today. Talking about the game today, still it was certain things that Paul Reed is disappointing me. Isaiah Joe is disappointing me. I was expecting more.
Isaiah Joe he's severely disappointing me. I'm expecting. Did he go scoreless again tonight?
Yeah, he went scoreless.
Yep. So he hasn't scored 1 point in the first 3 games of the season.
Nope. Yeah. Stible hit a 3 though.
You said Muscala?
Yeah, but Paul Reed hustled, man. Paul Reed got you 5 rebounds in 9 minutes.
But Paul Reed definitely hustles. That's why I liked him. But it's something about him. I think it's something like he don't like you know how sometimes a bull athletic and can play a little bit, but he don't really know how to play like ball, like team ball. It's something missing with Paul Reed it's something missing with him that he don't. There's something. I mean, he already was dominating down in the D League. I mean, kind of, sort of. So, I mean, what's that going to do?
I'm gonna tell y'all this though. We not, in order to get in the third place in the NBA Eastern Conference, we need a better Joel Embiid.
What do you give us today?
We don't.
Before you go, you see how stupid it was? Somebody said that in the comments, and absolutely right. Them chasing down a worthless block with the ball and actually almost messing up both of them. Like, there was no point. We was going to win a game. That's how you always get hurt doing stupid plays like that.
Because Joel Embiid's gonna have the.
Go ahead.
He's gonna have the bulk of the team on his back, and he has to play at a very high level. This year, he's only averaging 20 points a game. He's shooting 43% from the field, which to me is not good enough.
Not at all.
7 rebounds. He has to play.
I think he's trying to coast. I do.
I
think he calls himself trying to pace himself. And in all honesty, if we didn't blow that game against the Nets, I really would have no concern about it at all. I would rather him taking it easy or whatever, and then. But you got to be able to turn it on, and he hasn't been able to turn it on. Like in the Nets game, he wasn't able to just turn it on when he was ready to turn it on. So, I mean, can he coast? Can he afford to coast and then just turn it on down the stretch? I don't think he has that in him.
Listen, hey, Carr, you're right. I think the turnovers are down, and a large part is because Joel ain't dominating the ball like he used to. It's not to knock Joel, not to knock Joel turnovers. And Ben, I'm gonna say him and Ben because him and Ben dominated the ball a lot, and they actually had a lot of turnovers. Him and Ben, they're not dominating the ball like they did the last couple of years. I think that's why you're seeing less turnovers.
I could agree with that to an extent, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like you said, they're not. But now they have a fluid motion with the ball. Like the ball's moving around. It's not like stagnant with either Embiid trying to go through three, like feeling like he got to go through 3 or 4 people to score every time, or Ben dribbling until somebody get open. You know what I'm saying? Until he, whatever like that. Now you got guys swinging the ball around and swing, and open man shooting. So I think that has a lot to do with the turnovers being down. I think Doc is getting a chance to coach his system with Ben not in there. I mean, and it's not taking a slight at Ben, because I still think Ben could bring something to a team. But I think without Ben in there, Doc can actually run the system the way that he wants to run it.
Well, I do know one thing. The Bull, I'm a little disappointed with Maxi's play as well. I was expecting a little bit more from him, like a nice jump shot, mid-range jumper that's a little bit more wet. I don't see that. I do see him get to the hole, which is good, but I'm looking for that mid-range game, and I'm just not seeing no. It's not better.
I agree a little bit. I want to see his threes. I want to see the open threes fall. He was 0 for 4 tonight. He hit any. I want to see, though, because I think all of them were open, to be honest with you. I want to see him fall. You got to hit at least 1 or 2 of them. Maybe shoot more. He'll get more confidence up. But I need to see them start falling from Maxey. But other than that, I think he did fine. He didn't force a lot. He took the defense gave him. What do you have? 13 points, 14 points, 4 assists, something like that.
Against the OKC, she had 25.
Yeah, but remember, he had a hard.
He had foul trouble too. Remember, he had like 5 fouls. He finished the game with like 5
he was
fouls.
playing Gilbert, the guy. What's his name? Shai Gilbert.
Shai Gilbert.
And Shai Gilbert was playing. Shai Gilbert was playing him on defense too. He lanky, he long, he can play D. Pause.
Let me ask you this question. There's a closer out there that I believe could help this team. Isaiah Thomas is still sitting out there somewhere.
Is he a closer?
Yeah.
What makes you say he's a closer? Where have you seen him closing?
Because he can create his own shot, and he can.
But where have you seen him closing?
Did you understand? Did you see what he did in Boston when he was there?
What and then for the 1 year, and then when he got hurt, Boston actually went on and played better while he was out?
Well, no, they knew he was hurt, and that's why they traded him.
But I mean,
if you bring him back, if you bring him for a veteran minimum, to me he's better than anybody else we got on the team.
He needs volume though. He needs volume. Don't you agree?
And he needs the ball. And he needs to dribble. He's another guy that needs to dominate the ball.
But we don't have anybody that is a volume shooter on our team like that anyway. So if he wants the ball down the stretch and scoring, and he's also a point guard, so he can actually distribute the ball, why not him? He's the type of player that we don't have on our team.
I mean, I hear you.
How many years ago was what he did in Boston?
Okay, so he was in the summer league this year and was tearing the summer league up.
So was Maxey. So was Isaiah Joe.
No, this was different. He wasn't playing. Isaiah Joe and Maxey was playing against rookies.
Listen, I don't think. Listen,
who do you think playing the summer league? What summer league was he?
Pacers got young talent. Pacers got young talent.
Like NBA players that be getting together and playing in the summertime. He had like a 61-point game and like an 80.
Listen, they're not signed.
No defense out there.
He can still ball. I will give him a shot.
I don't think it's gonna happen, man.
You live in the past too much sometimes, Tim. You get hyped up about names sometimes, like because the Bulls such and such. Like that was like what 5 years ago.
Skills.
How many years ago was that when Brian was over there and when Brian brought him over there? And how many years Kyrie been going?
He was hurt. I know he had an injured hip and he got it fixed. He was injured.
I mean, what you gonna bring him in for? He a free agent?
Yeah, he just out there.
He's just out there.
I mean,
you want to bring him and give him a shot? Can he be a backup point? He might be
a
backup.
Wait. First of all, Tim want to bring in him when wasn't Tim the one crying about how small the backcourt was? We need size in the backcourt. Now you want to bring Isaiah Thomas in? Come on, man. Keep a train of thought, bro.
To run with Ben at the end of the game, like in the fourth quarter, him and Ben, they offset each other. You could play with him with Ben in there.
I think it's I don't know how you say that. ECJ. I think it's easier. The problem with having the ball in Joel Embiid's hands late in games is it's easier to get the ball out of his hands. It's easier to trap the big man and make him have to pass out the double or make him have a turnover. Remember in the Atlanta game, B had 7-8 turnovers. You know why? Because he was trapping. He was trying to do too much. So a big man to have a ball in his hands late in the game, if you're not Dirk or the bull from Denver, what's his name? You right. Just don't have the
Olajuwon.
Yeah, you just don't have the handle, the skill set to have the ball. Joel Embiid doesn't have the skill set to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
to me, he just don't.
I think he just telegraphs his passes situation too.
Can he get the ball and get a shot up quick? Yeah, but to ask Joel Embiid to create with the ball in his hands at the end of the game, I think that's too much.
He missing his Sam Cassell. You know, Olajuwon had a Sam Cassell. Mm-hmm. That's what he missing on his team right now.
Well, that's why I was so frustrated when you had him and for me when you had him and Ben, because my thing was they should be able to run some kind of high low with them two.
How?
But
how?
What you mean? No, you're right because ain't nobody. No, you're right because Ben can't shoot that mid. If he had that little mid range to give him some space, but he can't. So
Ben had a mental breakdown and he's scared to death to be out.
That don't have nothing to do with his mid range game. So
he's scared.
That's the biggest. That's the reason why him and Embiid. In all honesty, that's the reason why him and Embiid really can't flirt. And I think that we see what their record is together, but I think the biggest problem is because Ben doesn't have, like Ethan them saying, he don't even have at least a little bit of a mid-range game. So you can't let Joel's going to have to come out to get the ball or Ben is ineffective.
Yeah. I think it's time listen, Ben, let me tell you something. Ben averaged 3 turnovers a game every year in the league. Every year in the league, 3.4, 3.5, 3.5, 3.4. So
it was like he had about a 2-to-1 turnover assist ratio. It's not great.
So he did turn the ball a lot. I mean, he had the ball in his hands a lot, but he turned the ball over a lot. And that, like I said, without him and Joel having the ball dominant, I think that's why the turnovers are going down.
Yeah, it's going to take some years to get Brett Brown out of the system. This was my biggest problem with why we held on to Brett so long, because I thought we should have been guys.
Brett ain't had nothing to do with Ben not shooting. I'm sorry. Y'all can't blame Brett.
No. I'm not necessarily saying. No, I agree with that, but we know that's all Ben. But what I'm saying, well, honestly, Brett approved of him being how he was, because didn't Brett know how he played? Didn't Brett coach his father? Didn't Brett had it?
Brett didn't approve of that. Brett came out and said I want him to shoot 1-3 a game. Brett came out and said he said that about 3 years in. He wasn't saying that in the beginning. Well, Doc said he don't care if you shoot at all. So what's worse?
Yeah. I think Doc was trying to placate, was trying to pacify Ben Simmons last year. I think that's why Doc got so irked and the Sixers organization got so irked when Ben started saying, well, Doc Rivers, he talked about me like that. Like Doc politic for that man the whole time. Doc took a lot of heat for Ben. A lot of heat.
They said privately he was giving Ben the business, but publicly he always backed him up.
Yeah, well, and evidently that didn't work. So you try something else.
No, what happened?
So I watched that Pacers game yesterday against Miami. Pacers got some nice young talent. I watched that overtime game. It was good. I like the Pacers young team. I think we should have made that trade. But go ahead, Tim. My bad.
No, I was saying Ben. And I was watching ESPN the other day, and I was watching Tim Legler and Stephen A. Smith, and they was talking, and I agreed. Ben just using this excuse, that whole Joel and Doc being mad at them. He's using that as an excuse to get out of town, because he know that he's scared to death of Philadelphia because he saw the fans turn on him. He said that's the reason why he really want to get out of town, because of the fans.
I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down this road.
Okay, this dude is. So wait. So first it was because Morey wanted to trade him, even though he came back and played, even though he knew that. Then it was because Doc and Embiid disrespected him. Then it's because the fans was mad at him, even though the fans was trying to. As much grief as we give Philadelphia fans, this is why you're not going to put it on the fans. As much grief as we give Philadelphia fans. When Ben Simmons was struggling from that foul line, they was cheering that man on.
That's all fine and dandy, but
Sixers fans wanted to win so bad, they was cheering it. They were like, come on, Ben, you can do it.
He knows when he passed that ball to Dybul, the fans started booing him. And he knew from that point that he can't come back.
So when the fans started booing him, did he instantly know why they booed him?
Yeah. I mean,
because he knew it was a trash pass.
All over social media, they was killing him. They was ripping him. All the people that used to support him, they stopped supporting him. And so he's like, I can't come back here. He's scared to death. That's the reason.
Okay, and so what does that make it any better? That makes honestly that makes it worse in my because that shows me he cannot be the focal point of your team coming down the stretch. He can't handle.
Nope.
He's telling you he can't handle. He's telling you the pressure was too much for them to boo me, and the pressure is too much. But remember, this was why everybody's saying for real why he don't shoot in the game, because he's afraid to miss. He don't want to look bad. So if this is his concern, it's no way he can be your guy going down the stretch of a game.
And I'm okay with that. Let him do what he do. And
then he can never be a star. He can never be your star. Because let me ask you, supposed to be the point guard and handling the ball down the stretch.
Let me ask y'all. We looking at the first 3 games. I know they saying what y'all think about the Charlotte Hornets. They 3-0 right now. Are they for real, or is this food stamps?
I mean, you can buy food with food stamps and with money.
But it ain't real money. You can't buy everything.
Are the Nets trash? Are the Nets trash? We still talking early. But I'm just saying.
Do you think Charlotte is real, or is it food stamps?
I can't tell you that yet. Not from 3 games.
So I think Melo's real.
I honestly, I don't think you can really tell from this early in the season with everything. Like you, do we think the Nets is bad? The Nets started out 2-3. They should have been 0-3 if the Sixers ain't fooled. So the Nets looking horrible. Do we think the Nets going to play like that all season? That's what I'm saying. Like, are the Lakers going to be this bad? Lakers might actually be that bad.
Lakers in trouble. Lakers in trouble. Lakers in trouble. They over there struggling right now with Sacramento.
Do they got playmakers? Do they got a playmaker to give up? And send Ben over there to
they got Westbrook. They got Westbrook. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think Charlotte for real. I told you they were up and coming last year. I told y'all these team look out for. I think Charlotte for real. Are they gonna really make noise? No, but they gonna make the playoffs. They might get 5th. They might get 5th, 6th seed, maybe even 4th.
Did y'all see that clip of Klay Thompson wearing a number 77 jersey?
Yeah, did you see they gave it to him in the locker room? He came in the locker room and they had the 77 jersey.
Let me ask you, do y'all think should he been in one of the top 75 of all time?
No.
I gotta look at it.
Arguable.
It's some people you gotta leave off. I gotta look. Dame maybe.
All right, but this what I'm saying with that. This what I'm saying with Klay. I'm not saying
Dame to me shouldn't have been on there.
I'm not saying it's not that type talent, but how many years did Klay Thomas play at a top peak level? Remember, he'd been hurt for like the last 2 years or whatever, and then the first few years of his career, he wasn't balling out like that. So he had like a 3-year window when he was like dominant before getting hurt.
3 years, and then shoot.
That he was what was it?
Yes, he's a very, very good player. In my opinion, I think he should have been top 75.
You know what? It's not on there. So
I'd take Carmelo off and put him on there before Carmelo.
Carmelo on there?
Yeah.
You can't take Carmelo off.
He got 3 titles.
So what? That's a team thing.
Who got 3 titles?
He talking about Klay. That's a team effort.
But he's one of the top 2 scorers on the team. Come on. Klay
stop saying he's one of 2. Stop it. You got Steph Curry, and then you got Klay, and then Draymond way down there.
They kind of
let's not make it. I get what you're saying. We can't. So you saying just dismiss some of the greats that have played in the past and take them out. You can say what you want about Carmelo Anthony. He has the most points scored in the Olympic history. Melo was a big time player. Melo was a big name. Melo was a superstar. Klay Thompson has never been a superstar.
I kind of would take him over Ray Allen, be honest with you.
Nah, I'm not taking. Oh, you talking about Miami Ray or Boston Ray? You ain't talking about Ray when he was with Seattle or Ray when he was with Milwaukee.
I'm overall careers. I'm taking Klay Thompson over Ray Allen, and I'm a fan of Ray Allen.
Nah, nope. I'm taking Ray. I think Ray was a better player.
I mean, I don't know.
Top 75. Klay Thompson.
He definitely better than Klay. Definitely better than Reggie Miller, in my opinion. Reggie ain't deserve to be on that list, in my opinion. I always think Reggie's low overrated, but no.
Yeah, and like somebody said, Lillard hasn't won anything.
So what? That's a team thing. So if you put Damian Lillard on there with Steph Curry, you think are they gonna win more than Steph and what's his name? Than Klay?
Maybe.
Exactly. If you put Dame and Steph on the same team, they killing cats.
So how about this? AD, you think he should have been over AD?
I don't know. AD arguable for me. I don't know if AD should have been on there.
Exactly.
I don't think AD should have been on here either.
That's that Klay might be in the top 60 by the time I'm done. There's a lot of boys that shouldn't be on there. They got on there.
Like Lillard to me didn't do enough yet. What'd he do? What did Dame Lillard do?
But see, what are you talking about? See, this my only problem when you start talking about championships and titles. That's team efforts. Those are team accomplishments.
He didn't get his team there though. He didn't get his team there. Did he get his team there?
That's team accomplishment. He was going against better teams. They was better.
He was the top defender on his team, and probably arguably.
Who, Klay?
Yeah, Klay was.
He was a better defender than Draymond.
At some point, yeah. At times, he was better defender than Draymond.
So the whole thing.
Too. I mean, I put.
But this what I'm saying. This what I'm saying though.
Draymond is a one-way player. We only play defense.
But see, this is my thing. You keep when you talking about all-time greats, you talking about dudes that been dominant and the dominant dude on their team the majority of the time. Klay Thompson has been the hottest shooter, second hottest shooter at times on his team, and then at times he's been the highest, the best defender. At times, Klay Thompson has never been that dominant player on his team. To me, I think when you're doing the 75, you're talking about dominant players, like players that was on the team and they were the dominant player and was putting up numbers. Every night they coming in and they the focal point of the other team and they still put it down.
I see that in Klay. I do.
Yeah.
I see that in the ball. Wait till he come back. And I'm a fan of Klay.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Davis, AD shouldn't have made it.
I agree. I don't think AD should have.
Listen, I'm even go out. Pat Ewing to me is even questionable, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and slide.
Hey Phil, you know what I say about Reggie? To me, Reggie gets a lot of hype. Reggie Miller averaged like 19 points a game. Look at Reggie Miller's 3-point shooting percentage. Like it was all right. Like Reggie wasn't this. I guess for like back then, but I'm looking at dudes that came up and played against Reggie. You had Reggie, you had like Kobe and AI and all them came in playing against Reggie. Reggie, you know what I'm saying? You had dudes like Mitch Richmond playing during. Mitch Richmond was putting up numbers. Like Reggie to me, Reggie was a nice show, but Reggie to me falls in the same line with Pat Ewing. They was dudes that was nice.
Kawhi only averaged 19 points. Kawhi only averaged 19 points for his career.
Yeah. I mean, but Kawhi was the main man on championship team, though.
Kawhi only averaged 19 points in his career.
And MVP.
He wasn't the main man on San Antonio. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't MVP of the finals twice. He wasn't MVP of the finals twice.
He wasn't the main man. He wasn't the main man.
Was he the MVP of the finals twice?
They had a team.
No, they did have a team. But he was MVP of the finals, right?
Huh? So was Iggy.
Yeah, would you one game? Yeah.
Would you take Harden over Klay?
I think Harden's a more dominant player than Klay. Yes, I think if you're putting up top players, Harden is a better player than Klay.
What about Steve Nash?
No, Steve Nash don't belong on the list.
And Steve Nash is on the list.
Steve Nash to me questionable.
Russ is a little. I mean, Russ put the
Westbrook,
numbers up, but
Westbrook is questionable to me too, but you can't deny his numbers.
he had the numbers. He had the numbers. Reggie carried Indiana where? When Indiana, matter of fact, when Indiana was looking to be the championship team, like when the Malice at the Palace, he wasn't even the main dude on the team no more. What did Reggie? Like he couldn't even. I don't even think, did he ever even had to lose? Did he ever lose to Mike? Did Indiana ever lose to Mike in the playoffs? I know they lost to Mike. Like the Knicks.
He lost to Mike. Remember him and Mike was going at
it. All right, maybe. Oh no, you know what? I think Larry Brown was. It wasn't when Larry Brown was their coach. It was when was that when wait a minute. Who was their coach when he went up against
Wayne just hate Reggie for some reason. He hates I love Reggie Miller as a player. But I think he's overrated as a player. But Reggie, listen, when Reggie was killing them bum Knicks and doing the choking and everything else, I loved it. Reggie Miller was a showman. Reggie was a showman, but I don't think that Reggie was I never thought of Reggie as being that dominant type dude. Like, I just never thought of Reggie being that.
Live 95.
That's my personal person.
You ever play with him on NBA Live 95?
I played with Mitch Richmond.
So what about Stockton?
You couldn't miss on that game.
Did John Stockton deserve to be on there?
Not over. He deserved not over Clay. He has no titles. He just got a bunch of passes to Carmelo.
Hey, Miz. Listen.
I can't argue with
Clay
that.
Had a 38, 34, and 30 in the court. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Clay is not a great shooter and stuff. I'm just talking about, like, to me, even with Reggie Miller was more of a dominant player than Clay was. So that's huh? No, he was saying about. Oh, it looked like one person is saying that I'm tripping because I said Clay is better than Reggie. Then somebody telling me that Reggie, people got their different opinions on things. But I think that's a debatable thing because, like I said, Reggie was the dude on that squad, though. Like, he was the face of the Pacers. To me, when you talk about great players, the ones that you put in these rankings, they should have been the dude on a squad like that on a consistent yearly basis. And Clay just wasn't that.
Clay wasn't that, or Reggie?
No, Clay wasn't. Reggie was. Reggie was the face of the Pacers, but I just didn't think that. I don't know. I just didn't see Reggie as this dominant type dude. And it might be like hindsight because I looked and I seen how many players came up like during his era, like the young guys coming in like AI and Kobe and all these dudes and where their game went to.
That wasn't during
Reggie.
AI. That was during after Reggie.
Why wasn't it? AI used to battle with Reggie. Remember they put us out the playoffs?
Yeah, he wasn't battling. I mean, but that was during
he was battling.
That was during the end of Reggie's career. That overlapped Reggie's career.
Yeah, but Reggie,
it was like Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. It was like Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. It was like how is their career kind of overlapped. It was like that.
How? But it was what you mean overlap? Isaiah Thomas was like 1 year older than Reggie. I mean, than Mike. Isaiah Thomas like 1 or 2 years older.
But he was in the league longer than Mike.
No, like 1 or 2 years. Isaiah Thomas wasn't that much older than Mike. Thomas even said it. He was like, he was talking like he was old, like he was like 1 or 2 years. He came in the league like
But when they were winning, Mike wasn't. So it wasn't really
but they still was contemporaries.
Nah, they really wasn't contemporaries. His contemporaries was like Jordan and Magic. I mean, it was like Magic and Bird.
No, Magic, they were Bird contemporaries. The difference was
Magic, Bird, and Doc was his contemporary. Magic, Bird, Isaiah and Doc was his contemporaries.
Isaiah was giving Mike the business. You saying that? Look at the years that Isaiah came in the league like 2 years before Mike, and Mike came in the league and he was a superstar coming into the league. So they were contemporaries. I think Magic and them might have been older than Isaiah was than Mike, or is about the same. But that's what I'm saying. Isaiah kind of overlapped both of them. Like he came in after Magic and them was in there for a couple years, but then Mike came in there a couple years after he was in the league. That's what I'm saying. People just don't look at Mike like that because it's like Mike dominated in the 90s. Mike got drafted in what, like 84?
Yeah.
84.
That's what I'm saying.
81.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, how about Jason Kidd?
I still think that's their prime, though. I think they both in their prime at the same time. What'd you say?
You think he's better than Jason Kidd?
Who?
Clay.
Reggie Miller, 87 was his debut. What was Allen Iverson's?
96.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 96 because that was the year my son was born. But Isaiah was
That's
supposed
10
to be
years. He was in the
at the
league
peak.
10 years before Allen Iverson came in the league.
So tell me this: who was Reggie dominating?
Probably
Exactly.
I mean, you know.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't dominating.
Jordan was winning them all back then, though.
But
that
Pacers team was nice, though. Those Davis brothers, Dell and Antonio Davis, and then Rick Smits.
And they lost to Detroit, right? Didn't they lose to Detroit?
Who?
What team lost to Detroit?
They lost to the Knicks a couple times in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what I'm saying. I mean, the team. I'm not saying that. See, I'm not saying they're garbage. This is where I'm saying I think that they're overrated. The same way I think Pat Ewing is a little overrated.
Who won Ben? Hey, Tori, what team you got? Hold on, Tori Temple. What team you got? Talk about we won Ben. What team is that? It ain't that. Hope it ain't the Sixers. One you had. Ain't that right, Tim and Wayne?
What's that?
Ben.
Oh no, we won Ben back. That's our brother. The EMB said that's our brother. We love him. We want him back.
Wayne tripping on Reggie. Wayne don't like Reggie Miller. I like Reggie. I thought he was a killer. Remember that? That's what he's famous for.
That one game. That's what he's famous for. That wasn't even a playoff game, was it? That was like a regular season. That was like an NBC regular season game, like the matinee or something.
But you got other boys. Like you got Karl Malone that never won a chip. You got Barkley that never won a chip.
But Karl Malone and Barkley were dominant. And they were dominant on their teams.
They never won that.
They got to the finals.
Reggie
did too. I don't know. I just think when you talking about Barkley averaging like 25 points, Reggie Miller was a shooter. He was a shooter and averaged 18 points. Charles Barkley averaged like double-digit rebounds, and that's what I'm saying. Like they was multi-talented. Karl Malone and Charles Barkley was rebounds and scoring. They were dominant. Reggie was a shooter and averaged 18 points. He averaged what Glenn Rice was averaging.
But he had such a quick shot though.
He did. I'm just saying. I just didn't see Reggie as this dominant player. That I just personally didn't see Reggie as dominant as dudes like Barkley and Malone and guys that we're talking about on this list. And even Jason Kidd, it was a different era. But Jason Kidd used to stay getting triple doubles, and he carried the Nets to didn't he take the Nets to the finals twice? And the year that he got
they went once, I think.
And the year that they got hurt, the year that Detroit went, they was handling Detroit, and then he got hurt, and Detroit ended up winning and going to the finals. But they were the same ones that beat Detroit the year before that. So I mean, Jason Kidd got a ring too, don't he?
Yeah, he got a ring.
He got with Dallas. He
got with Dallas.
Yeah. All right, so we actually will be back on Tuesday when we be hosting. Is that a road trip or are we hosting? Who we play again?
Who do we play? Is that a gauge game? I need a gauge game. This wasn't a gauge game.
Hey Herb, I could go with that. Reggie was clutch, but he wasn't dominant. Now that I can agree with, and that's what I'm saying. To me, guys that's on this list should be guys that were dominant.
So we come back and play the Knicks, where we be in MSG in New York. So this will be kind of a gauge game to see how we are, especially if we playing with somebody.
Who we play?
The Knicks.
Well, they just lost to Orlando too.
They lost to Orlando?
I think so.
Hey Herb, you're right about Dwight. I think Dwight should have been on that list before Anthony Davis.
Yeah, they just lost to Orlando, man.
Dwight should have been on that list before Anthony Davis was.
There was a couple people that didn't make the.
Terrence Ross went crazy. He had 22 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that. All right, so join us Tuesday after the game. We'll be here live discussing. Hopefully, it's a victory over the New York Knicks. Right now, hopefully, Joel can make it 10 games before he take his annual sit down for a few games. Well,
wait, he can't do that yet until Drummond comes back.
Yeah, Drummond. I didn't even know he injured his ankle the other day. But anyway, fellas, thank y'all for listening.
Oh, Embiid?
No, you're talking about Drummond.
What's Wentz doing tonight, Tim?
Wait,
You
Clay
still
Thomas
doing a
averaged the
Wentz
same point. Clay Thomas and Reggie might be about the same. They both got career 19 points a game. They might be about in the same range.
But one has 3
Clay plays
titles.
Why?
defense.
Hold on. How can they be in the same range when Reggie was the man on his team and Clay's second fiddle and he still averaged the same amount as Reggie?
No, I agree. But Clay also played defense. Reggie did.
Yes, and also he has 3
So it's
titles.
debatable. Honestly, them two are debatable to me, but I think it's other guys that deserve to be there over them that are on the list and some that aren't.
I think it's his.
Did they not give Carson Wentz a pick for that? Is that considered a fumble?
I don't know. All right, y'all. We out.